I get it. I understand it fully. I don't believe there would be a better time than now for me to experience the story of this game. Maybe it's the fact that I love the sad hero or tragic hero archetype as a theme, but playing as Robert reflected how I've been feeling about my life and my overall goals this last year. I've been sick for most of it, some of it due to me taking too many supplements to get better, and some of it because I've been too nauseous to really function most of the time. I feel better today, thankfully, but even before that, I was still doing the best I could. Robert, the main character, has also been doing the best he could from the start, and his story starts off at what would usually be the conclusion of a hero's story. But in that mundanity, it allows you to just make the best out of a bad situation. In the reality of this situation, I can recall working at a certain warehouse where I believed that I was trying to make the best out of a bad situation, and I assumed everyone else there was doing the same. But due to unforeseen circumstances, I was labeled and looked down upon and treated unfairly by everybody at that workplace. By the end of it, I didn't even know who my real friends truly were, even though they introduced themselves to me. Somehow, I'm still here. And somehow Robert is still here. A bit more jaded, a bit more wise, and a bit more tired, but he's still there, and he still shows up. As for the story, I was more impressed with the first episode than the second, considering the second episode was mostly just an overlap of the demo with a few new mechanics that were cool to see. This felt a lot more like a proper game now, though, due to having actual minigames and keeping track of a team compared to The Wolf Among Us, which was all pretty much just QuickTime events. It even gives you an option this time to avoid having to play the QuickTime events, which I chose this time around because I just want to experience the story at this point. I haven't been disappointed with it, and if the writing is as tight as The Wolf Among Us, I believe I made the correct choice in picking this up when I could. Spoilers here on to the end of the video. Do not watch past this point or pause it right now to avoid spoilers. Thank you. Now, episode 1 consists of a lot of buildup of the big bad guy Shroud, and I was pleased to see that Mecha Man pretty much had his whole Sinister Six be the reason for his end. The legacy revenge that he's trying to get with Shroud and everything was a good add-on to whatever I believed happened to him. And I'm glad the writing was mature for the part of him being interviewed after the fact.
Okay, Shroud wanted the Astral Pulse and Mecha Man gone. He got both. I'm not sure I mattered much.
Right, you're unimportant. Which leads me to my next question. Most heroes avenge their family. You did the opposite. You killed their legacy. How disappointed would your dad be if he were here right now? Your father, your grandfather, they must be rolling over in their graves.
I think he'd be proud, because I'm alive. Which, as you so sensitively pointed out, he isn't. I think he knows that I sacrificed everything and that I did my best. Being Mecha Man, protecting my community, was the greatest honor I'll ever have. Now I have to live knowing that.
Robert's character in that scene made me really believe in him as the main character, because he can answer honestly and realize that Shroud just doesn't like the Mecha Man legacy. And if I'm alive, then that doesn't necessarily mean it's over, it just means I did the best I could. And in reality, that's all we can truly do. That resonated with me mostly because that's something I believe to my core. Thankfully, if I do get in a car crash or something tomorrow, I can say that honestly I did do the best I could with the hand I was dealt. And more so to the thing that the game says, period. Being a hero is never rewarding, and it's never easy, and is the hardest path that you will ever take. That's true. I did my best to be a good person. I've also had horrible situations I've been through. And those said situations have never made it more difficult, even to this day, to be a good person. Having to truly walk away from some friends and family and relationships. Most of that because I chose to walk away. As for relationships, I'm still figuring that part out. It's obvious the game wants us to like Blaze or Bombay, whatever her name is. However, it ends with her having a boyfriend, after obviously flirting with Robert the night before majority of the time. Now, I'm not the best with women, but I can understand that maybe she's already looking for options, because she's been grieving the relationship with her and her boyfriend already. But I've been here before, on both sides, and I've been consistently disappointed on both sides of this. There was one time where a girl at a job I've had tried to talk to me and she said she liked me. However, 2 days later, she told me she had a boyfriend. So I just stopped talking to her entirely. I'm, for the most part, on my own, and have been on my own for a good number of years now. The last thing I need is something to just complicate it artificially. And it just makes me tired thinking of that situation now. I don't know how the next episode will be, but I already dislike Blaze, if I'm being completely honest. She's a coward for not just leaving the relationship she's not happy in already, and she is selfish for not considering Robert's situation. Now, knowing the writers of this game, it might turn into her boyfriend being this megalomaniac that's gonna beat her to death if they don't go out, you know? But I gotta say, this time, if that's the case, I'm gonna be disappointed in this story. Or maybe it just struck a chord with me due to recent events of my life. I'll make another video when the next episode's released, but those will be complete spoiler talk for the most part. I'll promise I'll make a full non-spoiler review when it's fully out, but until then, I'm keeping it to spoiler talk. Thank you for watching. I'll hopefully see you again soon. Good night.